Hello and welcome back to our playthrough of, or our let's play rather, of Planescape Torment. I really like the music so far. I'm gonna have to pull up this OST next time I'm on a mindless grind of Magic the Gathering or something. Alright, so, anyway. I don't know whether to be horrified or impressed when I spoke to Dianara in the vaults of the mortuary. She told me that my deaths have given me some control over life and death. If I see a body, I could see the faint traces of life in it and coax it forth. For some reason, it will only work on people who travel with me, and only if they die in my presence. Why? In traveling with me, do they become linked to me somehow? Right there. That sentence. Do they become linked with me somehow? I feel like that's something important, but something very easily missed. I encountered the ghost of a woman named Dianara, who prophesied that I would meet three enemies, but no more dangerous than myself in my full glory. They are shades of evil, good, and neutral, given life and twisted by laws of the planes. She said that I would come to a prison built of regrets and sorrow, where the shadows themselves have gone mad. Here I will be asked to make a terrible sacrifice for the matter to be laid to rest, and must destroy that which keeps me alive, and immortal no longer. Alright.
I'm gone.
You're a stern-looking man in black robes. You see a stern-looking man in black robes. He is glaring at you suspiciously. You, state your business. I seem to have gotten turned around in these halls. Are there any guides who can direct visitors? The dustman frowns. He seems skeptical. There are guides that can direct you in the antechamber. Do not wander the mortuary unescorted. Thank you for your assistance. I will go speak to the guide. Alright, I was lucky. Let's talk to this jerk. Same thing. Thank you for your assistance. Let's talk to Sogo. Soego? Soego sounds better. I don't know if it's right. You see a tired-looking man in a black robe. His narrow face is extremely pale, and he doesn't look as if he's been sleeping. His shoulders are slumped, and his flesh sags loosely beneath his bloodshot eyes. He looks so lost in thought he doesn't even notice you. Greetings.
Updated my journal.
The man turns to face you and makes a slight bow. You suddenly notice that his eyes aren't bloodshot so much as they are red tinged to them. I'm Soego. How may I... He suddenly notices... He suddenly seems to notice your scars, and the corner of his mouth twitches. I'm sorry. Sarah, are you lost? No, but I had some questions. I do not recall admitting you. Soego looks at you suspiciously, and his eyes gleam red in the light of the torches. May I ask what you're doing here? Ah. You know, I'm tempted to do this one because this guy is a named character and not a Dustman Watcher. Let's try it. I was here for an internment earlier, paying my respects. I'm ready to leave, but I seem to have gotten turned around. Can you help me find the exit? Suego nods, and the corner of his mouth twitches. Why, of course. These halls can be confusing to visitors. No harm done. But you are not permitted here in the mortuary after 9 bells. Let me open the front gate for you.
Ooh, looks like my skills have
Thank you.
increased.
So now we have 2 ways out. Damn, he's slow. They're all slow. Very well, the front gate is unlocked, but you cannot re-enter. Can I ask you some questions before I leave? Sure, you may ask your questions. Oh, we could snitch? No. Do you know of someone named Feyrod? Feyrod? Of course I know him. He frowns, and his eyes gleam red. A ghoulish man. No respect for the dead, and even less for the living. He's a scavenger. A collector. What do you mean, collector? Collectors make their living gathering corpses and bringing them here to the mortuary. We then make sure the bodies receive a proper burial. So if a collector found a body, mine, for example, they might have brought it here and sold it to you? Yes. Oh, this is very telling. Suddenly it's extremely important I find this Feyrod. Let's not I don't really think this is a good idea. Because if we say, well, now you've given this important piece of information, and using myself as a reference, then I tell you it's extremely important I find this guy, you're going to wonder why. So, I had other questions. I'm missing a journal. Have you seen one? A journal? Suego seems confused. No, I've not seen one. More questions. If I may ask, are you alright? You look tired. Suego manages a weak smile, and the corners of his mouth twitch slightly. I've recently taken ill, minor fevers, nothing more. Sometimes they make sleep difficult. Was there anything I could do? Suego shakes his head. No, thank you for your concern. No. Thank you for your concern. I will endure. He frowned slightly. Was there something else you wanted? No. Oh, these giant skeleton. No, thank you. I had forgotten about that woman. I'm glad I ran into her. Oh, good. He didn't aggro. Okay, we're going to use this for sure. We'll level up once we get outside. Man, look at the weapon that he's got. Let's get out of here. Quests. Find Feyrod, find missing journal. Let's take the Let's take this exit. Where did it go? There it is. Uh-oh. That seems like they were looking for us. This sarcophagus appears to have been here for centuries. There is no lid. The exterior seems to be made of solid
All right.
stone. God, I love these old cinematics. Sigil. Joel. And this is as far as I have ever been in this game. All right. Excuse me.
Done.
Man, am I going to be talking to every single person? Oh boy, that's a lot of dialogue to read. You know what? I said we were gonna... Here we go. So we're gonna look at our characters. Saving throws, fighting skills, 1 characteristic point gained, 10 hit points gained. High wisdom helps you recall memories and gives you a bonus to experience points. I like that. Maybe we should max that out first. And Mort. Oh, he's only level 3. I'm level 4? Yeah. Okay. The man gasps and points at Mort. Oi, look! A floating skull! Mort rolls his eyes and cries, Oi, look! A talking turd! What? Looking to get a few teeth knocked out, you jabbering bone box? The man steps forward towards Mort menacingly. Stop the man. You move between Mort and the man, and he scowls at you, then backs away. Waste of me time. He turns to walk away. Yeah, let him go. Ladies. Ladies, strike me blind. I've seen you before, Cutter, but I've never thought I'd see you again. Sigil's smaller than you thinks, I suppose. You know me? She smiles nervously. Know ye? Nay, but like I said, I've seen ye. 'Twas last year, late at night, near Anti-Peak, looking for me sister. I was when ye came tearing past me like mad. Stumbled and dropped this, ye did. Right at my feet, up for running off. Man, I have to take back what I said earlier about them actually using English instead of spelling out the vernacular. God, I hate that. Ugh, I kept it for good luck, seeing as how fate saw fit to drop it right in front of me. There. She holds up a wicked-looking dagger. Here, seeing as I've run into you again, takes it back, Cutter. Farewell. Boy, that was worth talking to her. Okay. Dustmen stay out of most of the taverns in the hive, except for gathering dust. There's hardly anyone but the dead in there. Okay. There's a dustman right there. You see a somber, pale-faced dust woman in black robes. She is staring into the distance and doesn't appear to notice you. Greetings. She turns slowly to face you. Yes? I had some questions. She folds her arms into her robes and waits. Do you know someone named Feyrod?
Updated my journal.
Feyrod is a collector. The woman studies you for a moment. If you wish to know more of him, I am told that Initiate Emoric in the Gathering Dust Bar also seeks him. It may be that he can help you. Where's the Gathering Dust Bar? As one leaves the mortuary front gate, head south and west. It lies past the memorial. More questions. I'm looking for her journal. Have you seen one? She shakes her head. Alright, thank you.
I know debtors today said walking once looks like. Maybe I could get a dusty.
You see a woman dressed in faded, patched-up clothes. She glances at you as you approach, but turns away quickly, as if unwilling to make eye contact with you. Greetings. The woman glances at you and gives you a nice cold look and turns away. Miss? She turns again, and this time you see a dagger in her hand. Leave me be, dog, or I'll be jabbing this where they'll never be finding it. Calm down. I just had some questions that I wanted to ask you. She makes a semicircle over her heart with her free hand to ward off evil. I have nothing to say to you. Be gone with you. Yeah, we're going to leave her alone. We are not going to attack her. Dabus. You see a tall creature with a shock of white hair. Its skin has a greenish cast, and a pair of goat horns protrudes from the forehead. It is dressed in long flowing robes and appears to be floating slightly above the ground. Greetings. The creature turns to face you, and a series of symbols appear around its head. The symbols have a slight glow about them, and they just hover there. Oh, for the power's sake. Piking Davis. I hope I'm saying these names right. What's wrong? He's a Davis. They speak in rebuses. Rebuses. Rebuses? Rebuses sounds right. These annoying word puzzles. If you don't know what he's saying, then we better find a native or someone who can communicate with him if we want to. An annoying bunch. My bet, they can speak. They would just rather piss everyone else off by trying to puzzle out what they're saying. What is a Davis? chant is their janitors for the Lady of Pain. They float around, breaking, fixing, and patching up Sigil according to her whims. They're worse than corpses flies. They're worse than corpse flies. Mort sighs. You can't swat them, though, or the lady'll get upset. Lady of Pain? Who's that? She runs this city. You'll know her if you see her. She's got these blades around her face. She's about the size of a giant, and she floats off the ground, just like these guys. Mort nods at the Davis, who's looking at both of you. Nobody knows much about her. She doesn't speak much. All you need to know is that you don't want to make her angry. If you see her, my advice, run. I see. The Davis waits patiently, its hands tucked into its sleeves. A series of symbols materialize above its head, and then they vanish, and a question mark appears. Strike up a conversation and see if you could translate what the Davis is saying. That's awesome. You ask the Davis several questions, trying to get a feel for the rebuses that appear above its head. It is extremely patient throughout your discussion, giving you easy sentences to translate. After a few minutes, you start to get the hang of it. It feels like you've done this before. Maybe you can help me. The Davis waits. Who are you? Davis inclines its head slightly, and a stream of symbols appear above its head. I am a Davis. I had other questions for you. What are you doing? A batch of symbols appear above the Davis's head. I attend to my duties. Okay, more questions. Can you tell me about the Lady of Pain? A lone symbol above its head, above the Davis's head. This one shows a metallic female mask with blades coming out of the sides. Just looking at the ghostly image makes you uncomfortable. Alright. Okay, I think that's good enough for now. We'll go ahead and end it here, and we'll pick it up in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you in the next one.